National Transportation Safety Board investigators are in New York looking into the deadly collision at LaGuardia Airport late Sunday night. 2 pilots were killed and dozens of people were hurt. Tom Hansen is at LaGuardia with some stories of survival.
Surveillance video shows Air Canada Flight 8646 traveling more than 100 miles per hour before it collides with a fire truck, flipping the vehicle and sending it across a LaGuardia Airport runway amid a plume of smoke. The truck, responding to an incident with a different aircraft, was cleared to cross the runway seconds earlier, but the air traffic controller quickly realized the plane was already landing and tried to get the truck to stop.
Stop, truck 1. Stop. Truck 1, stop.
National Transportation Safety Board investigators are analyzing the flight data and cockpit audio recorders and are inspecting the expansive scene.
There is a tremendous amount of debris.
Officials did not reveal specific information about the air traffic controllers working during the incident, but Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy suggested below average staffing at the airport was not a concern.
We're a couple controllers short in total, but it is a well-staffed airport.
The flight from Montreal carried 72 passengers and 4 crew members. More than 36 people were injured. The pilot and co-pilot were killed. In an interview with Canadian media, family identified the pilot as 30-year-old Antoine Forêt.
These were 2 young men at the start of their careers, so it's an absolute tragedy.
Passenger Jack Cabot said the impact felt like hitting a wall.
I ran into the truck and then it continued rolling. It was moving so quickly, and we all kind of just had this real moment of grappling of, wow, we just survived this, and oh my God, this is much worse than we thought.
And the NTSB is expected to release more information today as the investigation continues, but we're learning some tales of survival, including that of Solange Tremblay, a flight attendant who was on that plane. She was ejected hundreds of feet, still strapped to her chair, but alive. And despite the severity of the crash, her daughter says she only has a broken leg. Just remarkable. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
Well, locally, Arkansas investigators say authorities are still searching for an escaped inmate who escaped from the Polk County Detention Center in Mena. Police are looking for the man right there under screen, Levi Poor. The sheriff's office says he's likely not in Polk County today. He escaped in a red Ford Ranger pickup. Police say he's 6 feet tall, has blue eyes, brown hair, and was last in jail for a domestic battery charge and also faced charges in Oklahoma. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Polk County Sheriff's Office. And we're learning new details about a case out of Poto where Grant Wilson is accused of killing his twin sister, Gabrielle, and her 17-month-old child. The mother and child were found inside of a home where investigators believe that they had been shot and killed. Tracking Grant's vehicle led investigators to Georgia, where an arrest affidavit says that Grant led police on a pursuit. Not long after, police say that they found weapons inside of the vehicle driven by Wilson. The victim's father told investigators that Grant and Gabrielle had a history of violent arguments.
Monroe County deputies tried to conduct a traffic stop. The suspect did not stop and led to a short pursuit, but during that pursuit, they were eventually able to catch up with our suspect, place him into custody.
Wilson is being extradited to LaFleur County, and investigators say that they will have an update once he's in Oklahoma custody. Meanwhile, the Benton County Jail is using a new service to stop contraband. The jail reached an agreement with Text Behind. It offers a service that scans non-privileged mail, mostly looking for things like drugs and weapons. The company says that the service is live now at the county jail.
Hard mail, as we call it, would be scanned, sent to our Baltimore facility where it's opened and scanned and then repackaged and sent back to the prison. If the prison has laptops for inmates, yes, then we can digitize the mail and also send text and emails through that platform.
The company says that it works with more than 600 county and state prisons around the country. Well, early voting begins today. Voters in several Northwest Arkansas counties will decide local races in the March 31st primary runoff election. 2 candidates in the race for the Republican nomination for Washington County Judge are heading to a runoff later this month. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach spoke with both candidates ahead of the race.
Voting is now open all the way through 4:30 p.m. on Friday at the Washington County Clerk's office here on North College Avenue, and it's the only polling location open for early voting in the county. Republicans Tim Shepard, Mark Scalise, and incumbent Judge Patrick Deakins faced off in the March 3rd primary, but no candidate received more than 50% of the vote. The top two vote-getters were Shepard with 48.48% and Deakins with 31.43%. We sat down with both candidates ahead of early voting. Deakins says his experience as county judge sets him apart, while Shepard says his background in operations makes him a strong candidate.
We've seen the realities of what Washington County is facing. One of the things I can say is I'm comfortable in that dynamic, that diverse dynamic. Any given morning I could be in a ditch up to my knees in mud looking at a technical road program problem with our road superintendent. That next morning or that next day you're supposed to be in a sport coat in the boardroom negotiating with the county. We can do both of those. I'm a captain at the Fayetteville Police Department. I've also been a volunteer fireman, so I've worked with obviously law enforcement, fire department, EMS, prosecutors, public defender's office, the courts. So I think I have more operational experience than any of the other candidates.
Whichever candidate wins the Republican runoff will go on to face Democratic candidate Dana DeRee in November. The Washington County Clerk's office is open through 4:30 today all the way through Friday for early voting. In Washington County, covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Today, the Sebastian County Quorum Court will hold a special meeting for appointing an interim sheriff. Now, the county declared a vacancy last week. Tonight, they will interview 4 candidates during an executive session. Then they will discuss and select their top choice. Hobie Runyon is retiring at the end of the month, and the winner of the election, Wyatt McIntyre, isn't set to take the position until January 1st.
5 News coverage of the Razorbacks is sponsored by DraftKings.
Well, the chase continues for a national championship, and for the second year in a row, Arkansas is back in the Sweet 16. Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas are among the best in the country. Coach Cal says that their chemistry will be key if the Hogs want to win.
They're both good, young people with good hearts, and they care about each other. And so now if he has it going, he's the one passing it to him. Keep shooting. If I get on him, he's telling him, just keep playing. If I get on him, he's telling him, just keep playing. Sometimes you're saying, don't even listen to him. So, you know, it's been, all I've had to do is the edges were a little rough. Just had to get the edges around, but they've, and they're defending. I hear all this stuff about defense. They're both defending. They both get their hands on balls. They both can rebound.
Off from San Jose is set for 8:45 right here on Channel 5 on Thursday. And before the game at 5:30, we'll have a special Chasing a Championship coverage from San Jose. Alex Stewart and Bo Russell will be live from the SAP Center, getting you ready for the big game.